Trying to upload the last video from Thursday for about, since I'm here since 11 o'clock, and it was 2 o'clock when I got here, and I barely finished it. Okay, so the maximum, so let's revise what we did. Here's what we were told. We were told that the sum of two numbers is 60. We're asked to find the numbers such that the maximum, the product is the maximum. We know that the product is x times y. But I don't know how to find the maximum product and the maximum of a function with two variables in it. So this information helps me find y. I said 60 minus x. I replace y. And now I see I get a quadratic function. The leading coefficient is negative. Absolutely, it has a maximum. So how do I find the maximum? By finding the vertex. I calculate the vertex, 30 for x. Then I can go back with 30 and I'll get 900. Or still, I have to determine y anyway. So 60 minus 30 is 30. So if one number is 30 and the other one is 30, their product must be 900. Or you plug in 30 in here, you still get 900, of course. So here's the final answer that has to be written in words. The maximum product of two numbers that add up to 60 is 900. And the numbers will be 30 and 30. No other combination of numbers will give us a maximum product and a sum of 60, but 30 and 30. Problem 62. Find two numbers whose difference is 8. Find two numbers whose difference is 8. 62 on page 704. Find two numbers whose difference is 8 and whose product is as small as possible. Can anyone give us something that represents the difference of two numbers is 8? Very good. So then we're asked again to find their product. What do I do? That's fine. The reason why I would like to solve for y, because sometimes if I write a function in y, some students may get confused. But if I write a function in x, everyone will understand for sure. It's up to you. Yes, it's the same thing. So if you write y plus 8, then you will replace x in terms of y, and you'll get a function in y. It's up to you. I'll do whatever you want me to do. If you solve for x, then for y, sorry, then you will have x minus 8 because you have to move y and you have to move x. So it's up to you. Which route do you want to go on? It doesn't matter. The answer will be the same. You want to solve for x? Perfect. Excellent. It's a very good idea. So we are solving for x, and then our product is a function of y because it has y plus 8 and multiplied by y. In descending order, after you multiply or distribute, you get this. So we're asked to find two numbers whose difference is 8 and they have a minimum product. So I got a function. Now I have to ask myself, does this function have a minimum? Because if this function doesn't have a minimum, then I have a mistake or error somewhere. So does it have a minimum? Yes, it has a minimum. Well, how do I determine the minimum? Negative b over 2a. Negative b is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. So this is negative 4. So one number, which in this case is y, is negative 4. If y is negative 4, can anyone give us the other number? X equals 4. So what will be the product of these numbers, which is definitely the minimum? Negative 16. So the product of x and y is negative 16. And now I have to write it in words. The minimum product, of two numbers that differ by 8 is negative 16. The numbers are negative 4 and 4. Excellent. Okay, problem 64. Any questions for me so far? Any questions? Any questions? So the minimum product of two numbers that differ by 8 is negative 16. The numbers are negative 4 and 4. Now notice one thing. If you get a problem like this, I don't want to see something like, oh, I used the calculator. It's negative 16. No, I can't give credit for that. So this chapter deals with quadratic functions. So you have to create a quadratic function, and you have to find its max or min, and then you have to explain what the solution is and what it means. So do not say I plugged in the graphing calculator and I got 4 and negative 4. I can't give credit for that. This is not what we studied, plugging in the calculator. Good. So my page 8, next problem 64 on page 704. Ready? The length and width of a rectangle must have a sum of 50. The length and width must have a sum of 50. Can anyone give us what to write? Very good. Find the dimensions of the rectangle that will have a maximum area. So A equals? Yes. So then from here, very good. So then I plug this in the area. So the area becomes a function of x right now. So this will be x multiplied by negative x plus 50, negative x squared plus 50x. So I'm asked to find the maximum of this function. But first of all, I ask myself, does this function have a minimum? Just to check and make sure I'm on the right track. Does it have a minimum? I'm sorry, does it have a maximum? Yes. How do I find the maximum? Very good. Which is negative b, which is 5 over negative 2 times negative 1, which is this. So this is 25. So if x is 25, how much is y for a maximum area? Very good. What will be the area? And first of all, what type of rectangle is this? So the rectangle with the maximum area will be always what type? Indeed, a square. Yes. So 6, 25. And I have to put it in words. The maximum area of a rectangle whose sum of the length and width is 50. So the maximum area of a rectangle whose sum of the length and width is 50. The maximum area is 625. The sides are 25 and 25. And that is true. The rectangle in the maximum area is a square. Good. Okay, let's see what else. Okay. I can't think of anything else. Solving equations. Factoring, taking square roots, quadratic formula, and complete the square. Graphing quadratic functions. Solving word problems. I can't think of anything else. Can you? And nonlinear inequalities. Yes, of course. Do I choose or you choose? Okay, so I will choose. So sketch the graph of, let's say, 50. I'm not sure whether we did 50 or not. I think not. 50 on page 709, which is f of x equals negative x squared plus 6x and minus 9. So the list of questions will be given to you. So I will ask, graph this function, present blah, 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 blah. Okay? So, first step. Can anyone remind us what is the first step when we have to graph? By the way, what type of function is it? Because we know 5 types now. We know linear, we know quadratic, we know absolute value, we know square root, and we know the cube root. I just returned today your homework with those graphs, 2 of those. It is quadratic. Good. What is its shape? So that will be the first concern. Number 1, the shape. Perfect. Excellent. Step number 2. What do I need to find? Very good. So let's find the vertex. 1 minute. Although it should not take us a minute to find the vertex, but let's say a minute. Do we have the x-coordinate of the vertex? Negative b over 2a, I agree. Which is negative b over negative 2, so this is 3. Perfect. Do we have the y-coordinate of the vertex? Okay, f of 3 is negative 3 squared plus 6 times 3 and minus 9. So this is negative 9 plus 18 minus 9, which is 0 indeed. Number 3. Should I look for the x-intercepts?
Yes. No, because the max is 0.
Exactly. So what is the x-intercept? If the max is 0, it means that the x-intercept is on the y-axis. And that is the x-intercept. On the x-axis, that is the x-intercept. Right. So the x-intercept is indeed 3, 0. What about the y-intercept? Right? Just, you can already imagine it, right? It sits on the x-axis. It has a maximum. It sits on the x-axis. You know the range already, right? What is the range? Correct. So then 0 is the x-intercept as well as the vertex. And what about the y-intercept? Very good. 0, negative 9. And the last 2 are just words. So what is the axis of symmetry? You have to give me an equation. Do not give me a number. Very good. X equals 3. Axis of symmetry. Yes. Good. So now I'm ready to graph. I will plot 3, 0, which is this point. I will plot 0, -9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And of course the axis of symmetry. So 3 units on this side, 1, 2, 3, so this should be the other point. Make it as symmetric as possible and not too sharp or too acute at the vertex. So this is f of x, which is -x squared plus 6x minus 9. And we can easily see the range. Any questions? Let's look at the chapter 11 test. It starts on page 709 and it continues through page 710. So 709, 710, the chapter test. I highly recommend do all those problems in preparation for this test. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm assuming and hoping that you will redo all tests with solutions in front of you or next to you or after you take the test at your leisure every weekend. All tests with solutions. It is crucial. You will have nothing to review if you do this every weekend. You will not be stressed out right before the test. You're going to be very comfortable and very confident if you do that. Every weekend, find the time to redo all our tests. Okay. Anything there that catches your eye? Okay, problem 23 on page 710. So there is a right triangle that has, we're given x plus 8 here, we're given x here, and we're given 20 feet here. Given the diagram shown, approximate to the nearest length, tenth of a foot. How many feet of walking distance a person saves by cutting across the lawn instead of walking on the sidewalk? So this is the sidewalk and this is across the lawn. So given a diagram shown, approximate the nearest tenth of a foot. How many feet of walking distance a person saves by cutting across the lawn instead of going on the sidewalk? Yes, I'm ready. Very good. One leg squared plus the other leg squared equals? Very good. Please solve this equation. 2 minutes. Any questions? Don't forget about your homework on Wednesday. Okay, can anyone tell us the starting point?
Subtract.
10 more minutes.
Yeah, my head hurts and the sun's like right in my eyes.
Okay. Can anyone suggest? It's quadratic. I have to have this set equal to 0. I can solve otherwise. It's quadratic, right? If you don't have 0 on one side, you can solve. We cannot take square roots from sums. That's not possible. So can anyone give us the left-hand side, please? Yes? Excellent. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so let's solve this. Can anyone give us the second step? I would like to finish this before we adjourn today. Can anyone give us a second step? I have to. Very good. Now you know me. What do you think I would do next? Of course. Absolutely. So x squared plus 8x minus 168. And no, I will not factor, of course. I have a method that always works. And it's not that difficult. Which one? Very good. Negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. Since c is negative, I'm changing this into positive. 4 times 168 divided by 2 times a. So please calculate and give me the answer. So let me show you again with the graphing calculator. This is what I would do. So I will put the left parenthesis, negative 8, plus the square root of, in parentheses, 64, and then plus 4 times 168, close the parenthesis, outside, and divide by 2. So this is 9.56. And the other one, of course, it will be negative. I shouldn't even bother with it, looking at it. And since it's a distance, it cannot be negative. But here's what I would do. change, override into negative. So x is definitely 9.56 feet. So then how much are we saving? So when we go from here till here, we have x plus 8 plus x. X plus 8 plus x is 2x plus 8. And this will be 2 times 9.56 plus 8. So how much is that? If you can, I'm lazy, as you see. 2 times 9.56 and plus 8. So 27.12. So this route is 27.12 feet. But this route is 20 feet. So how much longer are we walking, going on the or walking on the sidewalk versus on the cutting it on 7 point, yes, extra 7.12 feet. Indeed, extra 7.12 feet. Homework is due. You must review everything we did in class. I just posted the first video.